Hi, Zach.
Hello, hey Zach, what's up?
What's up? It's a relaxed weekend. We hosted our AWS Community Day, Aotearoa, New Zealand, for the first time, and it was amazing. So busy weeks, and finally, after a successful event, enjoying the weekend, and spring started. Um, Waiting for the summer now. Few more months to
So
go.
it's a
Yeah.
break from the wins and post-event chills.
Yes. I think commute days are. I saw one commute day today in German.
Aurangabad,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. One is in German as well. One is somewhere in India also, right? Yeah,
great.
happening everywhere now. It's nice, amazing.
Yes, the season of community days have begun. So, yeah,
I
some
and I
amazing.
really Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, and I really love how people come up with like innovations like the swags, right? For example, um, in our we had a committee, so our committee did an amazing job, like figuring out sustainable coffee cups. Like
Mhm,
uh,
mhm,
in the event is we try to keep it like full sustainable, so each and everyone got a coffee cup. You can reuse it,
okay.
so you can refill the unlimited coffee or water, whatever you can drink, and some seeds, flower seeds for each small pack. Everyone got it, and I think you saw the
Oh,
gaming mat, right? The
yes, the
gaming mat
seeds is
was
something that
yeah.
yeah, seeds is
Sorry.
something that yeah, seeds is something that I didn't know about, but
Yeah,
wow, that's a good
yeah.
idea. Yes, you're talking
That's
about the gaming
that's
map.
Yes, and it's New Zealand, so we love the nature.
Mhm,
So it's obvious that we always care about the mainly care about the environment and try to be more sustainable. And the gaming mat, yes, it was like lit, and everyone, because we printed only limited gaming mats, so
mhm,
it's kind of giving giveaway for like limited people, but it was amazing, and thanks to the original designer from Poland, and
mhm,
he's also a community builder. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. So I put a script. Actually, he's the one who initially did the design to make a small mouse pad. And
mhm.
I saw somewhere in the our AWS community builder Slack channel, and I asked him. He wasn't hesitate to give share anything, like he just right away gave me the a script and things to do, so I managed to enhance it, and I
Mhm.
documented it, and I put in a GitHub repo. Anyone can now use it. You just have to put all the AWS icons and just run the script. The pattern will be there, and yeah, it's amazing. And definitely you will be getting one. I'm definitely I'm planning to do some other things like my personally, like print something. I was thinking to put the
Mhm.
Zach Show logo and print a couple of mats. Definitely on the way for you.
Whoa, Uh, it's amazing, right? You could just take a Python script, get all the icons, and boom, you have an amazing design.
Yeah, it's cool. And yeah, I mean, thanks to everyone. It's not a single person work, so we had amazing support and person, like everyone, like not in the committee, for example, some of the committee members, spouse, wives, partners, they also came and helped,
Mhm,
volunteered,
mhm.
and that's really amazing. And yeah, cool.
Oh.
Now I can't wait until see your demo. So what we are going to do today?
Let me get my screen out. Uh, Okay, so yes, the last time we met, we started speaking
Yep,
about AWS Amplify, right?
yep,
And there's a lot to amplify. And this time we look into how we could use Amplify Studio. And did you know? Do you know anything about Amplify Studio?
I never used it, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Last time I told you, right? I have heard about it, like Amplify Studio. So it's kind of give me an idea that you can build something here because it's a studio.
Yep, you could build a web apps. And what if I tell you that if you had a Figma design, you could just take it, plug it into Amplify Studio, and it generates out React components.
You mean the design like a wireframe or just uh,
A wireframe
ink?
of
Oh,
Figma design.
wow, wow, that's amazing.
And it doesn't
Oh,
stop there.
okay.
You could define your data
Oh,
meaning some data that's residing in DynamoDB or anything
okay.
such. It
Oh, wow.
adds GraphQL, that is AppSync, on top of it. You can then integrate those to your components on front end, all from the AWS console.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yes. So let me just give it a name.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
Zach. Show demo deployment. So what I did is I went to my Amplify Studio, create new app, and create. Oops, I'm creating a backend app. Okay. Takes a while to for Amplify to init all the resources underneath.
So behind the scene, it's c- creating it, bootstrapping its resources, and um, creating the requirements like dependencies, everything. It's creating itself, right?
Yep.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's creating all the resources that's needed. Like, say, for instance, if you want DynamoDB, it's all initializing everything
Mm-hmm.
so that from the console you could configure what your structure is, what uh, authentication do you need. If you need to use S3, you could add on top of it. If see, you could see just by seeing all the screenshots here, you can see that hey, it's allowing you to even grant access to folks. Say, for instance, you're building it as a development environment and want to give it to a restricted folks. You could create the project, add access to them, and they will be able to access it.
Oh,
So yeah.
okay. Cool.
And Amplify hosting, I should probably start talking less about Amplify hosting because I end up there always. So yeah.
Actually, I tried Amplify hosting before
Mhm,
using Code Catalyst.
mhm,
It's super amazing that yeah, you can host your single page application SP app, right?
mhm,
Either you can host in S3 bucket using CloudFront or using Amplifier. So I always wondered. I think we talked about this last time as well, the cost wise. So
mhm.
I stick to S3 bucket. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the app is initialized. Let me just do
Oh,
Cloud
cool.
Studio. You could see that it doesn't contain anything as of now, no enabled categories.
Okay.
Once you get into the Amplify Studio,
So while it's loading, so using the Amplify
mhm,
Studio, is it chargeable or just you have to pay for only for the resources that you're going to host? For
it's for the
example,
resources. Whichever resources that you're using, you would have to pay for those itself. Uh, but while you're using Amplify, there's a lot of Amplify resources that are being used. Say, for instance, you're using Amplify hosting, all of those have charges, like uh, uh, the billing for respective resources underneath. But to use the studio itself, it's free. It's also the designing part is free. So,
oh, this that's that's enough.
yeah. Yes. So yeah, the studio is set up. So what you could do is you could create a data models, you could create content from here. So say for example, you're building a CMS system and you want all the content to be configured from a different console that rather than somebody writing markdowns and writing HTML
Yeah.
content, right? You could just define them here and you could make all things dynamic, pull it from here, and it renders
Oh,
out.
wow. Hmm.
But before we go there, let me just walk you through the UI library once. So yes, what you could do is, I was talking about Figma, but
Yep.
you could also build forms. So say you want a web app which has forms, like a registration form or anything such. So you could create the components, and behind the scenes, it'll create a GraphQL API which takes all the values from the input, stores it into a DynamoDB table. So it's like you're just focusing on the form builder, but underneath the APIs, the database that is needed, all that is being uh, initialized and deployed under the hood. So yeah, let's go with Sigma design. I don't have Figma design, so I'll just go with using a template. This is another beauty where Amplify has their own template available. So you could just use the
Oh, wow.
Amplify template that's there. And
So you mean if I want to create a mobile app, so a PW app, um,
mhm,
I just design it the
mhm,
Sigma and import amplifier and host it. Oh,
yep. Let me just sign into Figma. Okay, open in Figma. So you could see that it there is a wireframe of something like a web app that's already in place. And what it's doing is you could see all of these designs and everything, and you go share. You take the link and you get back here, paste it.
paste in. Okay. So you should be able to import from that side.
Yep, granting some access to Figma. And okay, it's taking time.
Oh, that makes sense, but still, it's amazing. Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So see, you from the design, it picked up the theme colors that's there, the font that's available, spacing that's there, everything else. Let me just accept all changes.
Oh, you can customize from here as well. That means once you
Yep.
import, oh, nice. You can verify and you can customize. Nice.
So the components that's available, you could go through each of them. If something is not good, you could reject it. That reject means it's not going to auto generate React components for that. But if you do accept it, it does generate. So
Okay.
you could see from the wireframe, there were a couple of all these components. Here,
Yeah,
it's going to navigate you through all of them. That's about
it's
32 of
amazing.
them,
Yeah.
and let's not
You can
waste
click
time and
accept,
go
all right.
into.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, it's not a production release. Fine.
Right. So yeah, let me just accept everything. And here is the components. So it generated all of these components, and now these components are available. What I could do is I could start configuring them. So say configure, and I will be able to make changes to all of these fields. Isn't
Oh,
this
wow.
amazing?
Amazing, right? Yes.
And
So you
it's
can
not
assign the
setting
actions. Wow.
correct.
No, sorry. I
So
mean,
you
like you
can
can assign the action what to. Yeah, yeah,
yeah
yeah.
you can define what happens on the click, the CTIs that's needed, or you could even decide where does this data comes from. That's exactly where content comes into picture. So let's define the content for it. Create a data model. We'll add a model that says okay, products. There's product ID. There is some name. There's some URL. Do you have any fields in mind?
ID, name, URL,
Price. Yeah.
price. So that's fine. Yeah.
So you can see here. This is essentially creating a AppSync API. So you could see
Oh,
that it
wow.
creates a
GraphQL.
GraphQL
Yeah.
schema where
Schema.
it's telling the model is this. It's adding the authorizations that Amplify allows and AppSync allows. And what it's also doing is, since it's defined as a model, AppSync will take care of creating the CRUD APIs needed for this model.
Oh, cool. So
So,
you don't have to worry about it. Nice.
yep, save and deploy. This is exactly where AppSync is being deployed. And
Mm,
under the hood for AppSync, there is also DynamoDB that's getting created. Love this
let's go into
animation.
the apps. Oh, animation is very cool. Okay, it's going to DynamoDB now.
Yep, and deploy.
Deploy. That's it? Wow.
Yes. How simple is
Ah,
this?
how simple
So,
is it?
somebody who's very new to AWS ecosystem and they're familiar with what a web app should be doing, they could just start designing from here, and voila, they would have a web app in no time.
And
You
it's
could
free to
also
use,
see,
right? I mean, you don't have to worry about it, the cost, because
yep.
you will be paying for all the amplifier hosting or the way you're going to host. Oh, that's
And
amazing.
somebody to just get started with, all of this is also under the free tier. So
Okay.
if you're just testing things out, that should be free, unless you go overboard with creating something that creates a lot of data transfer or data that's been residing, and you will end up with a
So, so
huge bill. But
in the back end, is the CloudFormation stack running in? Oh,
yes.
okay, cool.
So under the hood, it uses a stack, CloudFormation stack itself, to deploy everything, and that's
Ah,
something that you'll be seeing, like how's the status being tracked and all of it, right? So yeah,
So if you go to the CloudFormation console, the same region, you should be able to see this, right? Yeah,
yep.
hopefully. Yeah.
Let's go there. Where's CloudFormation?
See, this is what a DevOps guy have the questions like, where's my stack? It is a CloudFormation.
Oops.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this it's completed.
Nice.
Yep. And
It's
this
creating
is,
a bootstrap and creating a nested stack using that. Nice.
yep. So you can see that there's a couple of
Policies, everything.
AppSync resolvers, IAM policy, data source, DynamoDB table, all of that. Yep, it's
Done.
deployed, and there is a Amplify based CLI command that you would have to run when you're using it on your local to pull all of these resources and build on
Okay.
top of it. Let's get into it at the end. For now,
Okay.
let's start building out the things. Look at how it feels on the studio.
Cool.
And going into my data manager. So this is what I was telling you, that somebody who just
Mm.
wants to create content, they could go here, and it's creating all of these values directly to DynamoDB.
Cool.
So
So what about if I want to put some image? So the image can store in the S3 bucket, and we can store the URL. Oh, cool, 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 cool.
yep. So they do have something as storage. You
Storage.
could
Ah, okay.
set it up. You could
Ah,
set up the things that is needed, and look at this, like the authentication part of it. You could even use Cognito for authorization, or you could set up something from scratch. So let's go into content. Okay, what? Let's start selling iPhones.
oh, 15 is coming up right there.
Yep. Uh,
Apple.com.
yeah. So what's the
999,
price?
right? It's 999. Yeah.
So it creates the data and it adds certain other attributes like the ID,
Yeah.
when
Idea.
it was created, updated, all of these things. So now let's just, another beauty is as a front end developer, when you're building couple of things, you need some data to bind to your UI so that
Yeah.
you could play around with a different set of data points and check if everything's working right. And
Yeah.
one thing, uh, what I have faced personally is that when you're building all of these things, generating these content is a pain. And maybe before you just start working with an API, you use
Yeah.
a JSON type of a metadata and start using them, right? Before you bind it to an actual API call. But here, since the API is already binded using the React components, what you could do is you could auto generate data. So if you just click on auto generate, it'll ask you for how many rows. Let me say
No
five
way.
rows. And ta-da! It adds
Wow,
gibberish
amazing.
data, but yeah,
Yeah, but
it's
still
not,
it's
it's
data.
good for,
Yeah.
yeah, it's good for start testing something on your application, right? So let's go to the UI library. Now that we have about 6 data records, uh, what you can do is configure.
I just put the link
Ah, awesome.
to the Amplify Studio. Yeah.
So you could say this, set the label to bind to a data. You could you could even select from what type of a model it is, the different attributes. You can select name. It's already picking one of the items.
Literally, you
So
can
say,
build an app like within like a very short period. Like
yep.
it's amazing.
So say,
And if you're not a
oh,
UI person, like a front end person, you design just sketch in Figma and get the stuff here. Oh wow, I'm gonna give it a try.
so you could see that it started binding data. Now the next thing is, say for example, you want to get the component code. You could start pulling these uh, in your local terminal, and all of the code is there. The other point is, you want to look at how data looks at the specific UI. You could even shuffle the values, and it picks out, okay, this is something good that happened because it's taking the actual data here. And you could see that, hey, there's a title, there's the all of the other fields that's taken in. If there's a image, you could even set an image source. So you
Um,
were asking about
yeah,
how do you use it, right? So if you have the S3 URL in data that's basically in DynamoDB, you could select that attribute from here and it gets binded. Any thoughts on this, Zach? I see you're
I'm just full
amazed.
amazed and full surprised. I didn't know that. It's this much cool. Like wow, I'm definitely gonna build something.
So what happens here is that you could start when modifying this based on your needs, the way how you want it. Say for instance, this is something like a Instagram app, and you have a lot of data that's coming in from DynamoDB. You could create that as the different name, the image, the number of likes, comments, and all of those things from a data source, add it out to them, and you could even set different child properties. So, say for
Oh
example, you
wow,
want to set different HTML set properties, you could even use them here, where you could select a specific thing. Say for example, height. You could specify a value. It's taking it from a DynamoDB table, but if you have something that's dynamic in nature, you could assign it here. And it doesn't stop there. You could start concatenating stuff.
wow.
So say you want to have some value that's concatenating different things. Voila. This would start binding the values into your UI components by concatenating all these values.
That's amazing.
And say, for example, you want to set on this button click or on this text click, you want to set a action where it goes into a specific URL. So you could even say, hey, you could go to a URL in a new tab, or
Oh,
you could just go to a URL, refresh. You could modify the element. You could create, delete the data.
updated it.
Yeah.
Wow.
There is even some authorization activities. This was not there the last time I was trying out, but yeah,
Oh,
this is
really?
something cool, right?
Sign out with this device, sign
Yeah.
out of all device. Wow.
You could just have a logout button, and who wants to try the logic for a logout button now? Just
Yeah,
take
yeah, yeah.
sign out from on.
It's already there, right? Yeah. I mean, like we
Yeah.
already in. Yeah. That's amazing.
So what you could do is you could start binding this on, and uh, next step is you could create more data. So say for example, done. You could add data. Say for example,
Price.
orders.
Okay. Orders fine. Yeah.
You have the product
Product.
ID, and you have customer
Con
ID.
customers.
Mm, let's stop
I
at
know
this.
what are you going to do next. I know what are you going to do next. Can guess.
Let's start buying iPhones
Yeah.
or start selling them.
So you're
So
going
yeah,
to create the
it's
relationship, right?
yeah.
Cool.
So you could say, hey, this is
Wow.
which one did I select? Okay, order. So you could select orders would require one order to one products,
Yep.
and save customer, save. So you could start building out these kind of relationship, and behind the scene, it's again just updating a, a GraphQL endpoint
Wow.
or AppSync endpoint. So save and deploy. So say if it's a e-commerce site and you want to have people uh, authenticate themselves, you could just have you could by default it's enabling email-based authentication. But if you want something else, you could even add them on here and deploy it. Look at the features that it has, like adding an
Yeah.
email-based authentication, multi-factor authentication, uh, URL-based sign-on links, all of that. And the other beauty is
Function.
when you're building Amplify also enables you to create functions, right, from the local terminal. So you could use Amplify commands to add function and create all of them out. You could see here that using data, the AppSync query that we define, AppSync API that we define, it's defined here. You could navigate it into the resource. There's a schema. The whole thing is being defined, and there is also the complete.
The model should be here also, right? The models you created.
Yes, yes,
Nice.
yes, yes. So you saw that in the beginning there was customer, and uh, there should be product as well.
I think it's is it alphabetical order? Probably, right? Yeah.
Probably yes.
The
There
order is
is
here.
order,
Yeah.
products,
Product. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
It's alphabetical order.
you could see that it created CRUD operations for all of these three. It's added in things like what the input should be, if there's some specific condition, all of that. And also it's authorizing the specific mutation with API key or IAM, things like that, right? So essentially, when you're building web apps and building APIs with AppSync, uh, using all of these mutations, queries, and subscriptions, all of that, you have to understand. Okay, what's my data model? What's my query gonna be looking like? What's the authorization that I need? All of those you need to have a prior knowledge. But with Amplify Studio, if you have a basic understanding of what it is, what you could do is you could just start defining your model and let Amplify and AppSync do the magic for you.
So behind the scene, like it's under the AWS best practices, like for the IAM roles and the permissions. Cool.
Yep. So you could see that all the APIs are authenticated. Uh, all of them have a defined way of how you would input the values. So, say for example, you want to list all the products. It defines what the input could be, what are the filters that would be, all of those parts.
Hmm.
So let me
Mind-blowing
just
stuff.
yes. So let me just pull this out
Yeah.
in my local terminal. My VS Code is hanging up. This is another part of the live demo where something could go wrong.
Always is fine.
Okay, so what it does is when I pull, asking me to log in.
I think this is one of the most favorite tools for web app developers. Um, what about mobile apps?
Mobile apps is
Like
not supported
to
as
support it,
because
right?
uh, yeah, you could do something as a React Native app.
Like a PW app, we can do, right? Still, yeah.
Correct. But not a native mobile app.
Yeah. That makes sense. Who knows in the future?
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I
If
just
they're gonna
noticed
release
that.
someday, yeah, we are gonna recap this video when we are going to talk about that someday.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
noticed
that's
that all this while I was sharing only my browser and not my VS Code.
oh, that's fine.
Was
Live
was that the
always. Mm.
case?
Oh yes,
Was only my
that's fine.
browser?
Yeah,
Let me
it would be on the scene. You're doing something, some magic.
share the whole thing. Okay, so what I did was is my VS Code
Cool.
available?
Yeah. Yes.
Good. So what I did was I just pulled Amplify with the specific project,
Yep.
and then it asked me to get the token from the web authentication. I did that. Let me just set this up. VS Code, JavaScript, React, and all the other default settings. So you could see that it started generating UI components. So you go here, you
Oh,
could
this
see it's
was
creating the all the UI components that's needed.
wow.
So it's
Did
taking all of those components from Figma. You configured a couple of things on Amplify Studio, and when you pull it, it's generating all of the UI components. Uh,
So all
modifying
the
this.
TypeScript code TypeScripts are
Yes.
there. Wow.
And if I remember, it's a profile that we were editing or product detail. Which component was that? I like how this loader is being defined. Something awesome is coming up.
Yeah.
Do you remember which component we were editing?
Um. No, it's product. Go to the products. Create something. It's a product view.
Uh,
Like it's not that one. Product detail. No,
yep,
it's something related to
not
product.
this. Ah, this one.
Oh, this one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Amplify.
Ampli.
So you go here, you search for that component. Amplify. It's generated all those components. You could see it's importing a couple of UI libraries from Amplify, getting the value, everything else. And if you see the JSX of it, it's defined all these components.
Wow.
And where is that? So it's adding the child from the configuration that we did. So say for a specific text field, we defined that it's the value from products and
Yeah.
the value is from name. It's defined all of those stuff here. So say if you want to do additional stuff on the front end, like you want to beautify it or you want to display it a specific way, you could edit the components from here, or you could go back, modify your Figma design, do all of those things, and generate the UI component.
So you can keep your changes in the code as it is, like this.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
oh, nice. Super cool.
NPM run.
Tomorrow I'm gonna give a try. Let me design a small PW app tomorrow.
Hmm, did it miss out generating package.json? Okay, I guess I missed one of the step and package.json is not set, so I'm not able to run it. But
Oh yes,
Yes,
the only the locker is there, but the JSON package, the package of JSON is not there in the local, right? So
yes.
you have to set up initially. I thought it should come with when you're pulling. I thought it should come with the code. No.
It should ideally, yes. But yeah, I think
Okay.
I missed some command in the middle, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Cool. No worries. No worries.
yeah. So ultimately, what happens is you
Yeah. Yeah.
have your React code base, you can start running it, and whew, your web app is available just from design to code.
Uh, until you showed me this, I didn't know about. To be honest with you, like we could have done this. Like especially my
Mhm,
favorite part is the models that you
mhm,
can create the models and um, how you can create the relationship, which is really
mhm.
amazing. Like it gives me a remind of Django framework, kind
Mhm.
of. So how easy to create the models there, right? So same like wow.
Yeah, but Django, you would have to define it as a JSON if I'm not wrong, right?
The
The
models.
models? Yes, right?
No, no. I mean, it's full Python, right? So
Great.
um, n- n- no, you can use models inside your code, like um, I remember the model.py or something somewhere. Like
Mhm,
you can define it because it generates all the skeleton from Django. So
mhm.
yeah, but I don't see anywhere how to use JSON. No,
No?
it's a while
Okay.
ago I worked on that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's been a while, like touch
yeah,
Django
been a
as well.
while now.
It's been
Yeah,
few years. Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, it's all possible with just a couple of configurations from Amplify Studio. So it's so easy to get started with a basic model or a POC of a web app.
yeah. But yeah, it's a POC within we did within like 40 minutes. Yeah, 40
Yes.
minutes. Yeah,
Yep.
pretty amazing. Cool. So next time we can try like um oh I mean the hosting part and maybe with really major and stuff. Yeah, I mean
Mm.
others can give a try and I'm going to give a try, and definitely when we're doing the next show I'm going to show my web app to you, Zach.
Awesome. 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 Yeah.
Cool.
It's been
So
amazing, like how you could
yeah,
build all of these. So yeah, I'm
amazing.
cooking something with Amplify Studio. You know about the serverless terminal, right? I build
Yeah,
a lot of blogs and newsletter, so I'm building
yeah,
something,
yeah.
just trying it out for fun with Amplify Studio.
That's cool. I received your latest articles, I think yesterday. Yeah, I think yesterday.
Yep,
I,
last
I,
night.
I yeah, last night. So yeah, time zone different. Yes, yeah. Cool. So I think that's all about Amplify Studio today. Hmm.
Yep, that's the pretty much 101 of Amplify Studio. But yeah, you could build a lot of things with it.
Endless. Imaginations are
Yes.
endless, I would say. So I was thinking what to do, what to build. Definitely not e-commerce, but yeah, let me give it a try. I'm gonna. I have some ideas, so I'm gonna do that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it a try. So already I was thinking while you're doing it. Oh, yeah, cool, nice.
So you don't
So
have
we
to be
can.
a yeah, you don't have to be a pro code with React or anything, right? You could
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
start with designs and oh,
Yeah, with the basic knowledge, you can. Yeah, you should know like the basic knowledge, like especially with the
uh-huh,
models, right?
uh-huh,
Relationships, like if you're familiar with ER diagrams, that's more than enough, I think, to
right.
create your models. Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yep.
Let's see. I think yeah, that's all for today. I really enjoyed. You saw my face right from the beginning to the end. I was like really amazing.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I
Yes,
think I
us.
shared the link. Definitely um, will be posting this one as a comment all in the sharing section in the YouTube. And yes, check the link there. Zach again pasted it. Cool. If any question about Amplify Studio, please reach to that Zach. He's the expert on that domain. And yeah, I'm gonna give it a try and happy to help if there's anything right related to this or anything else related to AWS. Cool. So see you all with another Zach show. We both talking
Yep.
AWS.
The Zach Show talking AWS. Thank you all for
Yes.
tuning in.
Yeah. See ya.
See ya. Bye.